loaded, most certainly. Yeah, I get it loaded. Just ride the play. If you ride the play, Johnny ride the.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Solo E, and I am back with another video. In this video, we're actually going to specifically focus on one indice, and that indice is going to be NASDAQ 100. I'm going to actually be showing you guys how you can scalp NASDAQ 100 on a 5-minute. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because it's a little different on how I look for my entries for indices, just because they're more volatile and you know, they move a lot more faster. So a lot of times you can't catch the moves that you can if you're just trading Forex. So we're going to focus on how to master and find these perfect entries using 15 5-minute time frame, doing our markups on a higher time frame. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Make sure you watch this from now all the way to the end, because I'm gonna be giving you guys some interesting facts on a new broker that you guys can sign up with, and you can go ahead and start making money with them. So let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. Okay, so first and foremost, you guys want to at least make sure you start on a higher time frame to get your overall picture. So when you zoom in on a smaller scale, you know what you are looking for, where you at in market, and you know potentially when to enter or when to exit in a market. Now, the reason why we're so focused on the 4 hours, because we want to look for two things. We want to look for our highest point and our lowest point. Now, if you notice that there's a trend even on a 4-hour time frame, meaning that the market is either going up or going down, we want to establish that and make sure we can draw either support or resistance within that trend line, or within that trend. So let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what I mean, so we can go ahead and eat off this NASDAQ 100 scalping strategy. So now we're in the 4-hour time frame, and what I'm trying to look for is two things: my highest point and then also the lowest point. But most importantly, I want to know, is this trending? And then if it is, what happened previously before the trend occurred? So now I see at this moment we have a trend going on. How do I know that this is a trend? Because we're breaking all of the new highs. High, 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 and then high. So when it breaks those highs, I already immediately know that we're in a trend. Now, even though market is still an uptrend, I still want to try to mark my highest point in a 4-hour and my lowest point in a 4-hour. So I'm gonna mark a couple areas. One is going to be this area here, and then my other is going to be these areas up here. Now what this means is, if market was to ever break out of this high, then I will be expecting price to continue up to the next high, and then possibly maybe it might break out of the daily high, which is all the way up here. And then, you know, if it does that, then we can expect new highs to be formed from the daily time frame. However, I want to make sure that we will not break to the downside, because the simple fact that now we have this new high here, we want to make sure that this isn't going to be a resistance for this move right here. So what we need to see is something simple. We need to see rejection. Now I'm on a 4-hour. You can look for rejection off the 4-hour, off the 1 hour, off the 15-minute, and off the 5-minute. The only difference is, when you are trying to scale down on a smaller scale and look for rejection, you have to also keep in mind that price can still head up. So it is a lot better to first look for the rejection on a higher time frame before you scale down on a smaller time frame to start entering in the trades. So now I see that we're in a uptrend, but since we are in this new high, I want to see exactly what happens. And I'm gonna prove something to you guys, because every time market hits a high, a previous high, it always reacts off it. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw up all of these highs here. You guys will literally see that price always assumed to react off it. Rather, if it breaks out tremendously and then comes back and retest it, or it will either hit that area, act as resistance, and then bounce down and then continue up. So if you guys look here, we see that price basically did that. Price came in this area, it broke out, but then it retested, got an engulfing candle, and then went up. Same thing happened here. We got a nice little double bottom and we went down temporary, reacted off this resistance, now support, and then got a double bottom, price went up. So what does that mean for this? It can be either or. Price can break out, come back, and then continue up, or price can create this momentum and then shift the other way, and then we can look for that sell. So we got to be aware of that. So now that I established all of that, let's go ahead and see if we can maybe find a trend, support and resistance trend that can follow. So if we look, I do see a possible trend right here. So what does this mean? Basically, since I'm on a 4-hour, I would like to see market, if market does, you know, like a double top or somewhat, I would like to sell it. Now, if I do sell it, I want to be cautious of this trend line because this is strong support right here. Guys, you got to remember the trend line strategy. A lot of you guys might notice the trend line strategy is just a reflection of diagonal support and diagonal resistance. That's really what it comes down to. And support and resistance can be seen flat or straight or diagonal. So you just really got to kind of figure out what's going on. But I know that we have a trend. So that being said, I kind of want to see what we can get, because as a scalper, I can scalp all of this inside here. And then also, if I notice price breaks this trend, I could expect now that this whole entire uptrend to actually maybe consolidate further down to continue back up, or consolidate to continue down. But we're going to be ready for whatever. As a retail trader, that it is what it is. Unfortunately, we can't really move the market because the brokers, the way we trade is different. So we're going to be cautious and we're just going to see what's up. Okay, so you guys see now we got this bearish engulfing candle. So now since we got this bearish engulfing candle, what I like to then do is scale down on a smaller scale. So we're just going to jump straight to the 30-minute. And then on the 30-minute, what I'm doing is I'm just initially looking for tighter entries, or tighter, not entries, but I'm looking for tighter support and resistance. Another thing about this is I also focus on minor structure. Minor structure is the details. Major structure is the bigger picture. Minor structure is what's inside a major structure to complete the major move. So now let's look. We noticed that price broke to the downside, and now it looks like we're finally getting that pullback that we desire. So once we see this pullback, we kind of want to wait to see if price can give us an engulfing candle. And then as you clearly see, we're getting this strong move to the downside. So as an entry day and a scalper, you guys can now come in the market and you can start scalping these moves. But now, once again, I'm on a 30-minute. So let's say that we even want to scale down further. Let's just do 15-minute. On a 15-minute, we're kind of just applying the same pressure. All right. So we're looking for engulfing candles. We're looking for wick rejections. We're trying to see exactly what it is for us to get in the market for a sell. So I'm actually entering for a sell, and we're going to do a sell. We're going to short it here. And then we're going to put our stop loss all the way up here. Reason being is because I actually want to ride this trade all the way down to this trend line, which is, you know, around this area here. So if we look left, you guys will see that we have some previous lows reacting off that, which is this one here, and then this, and then we also have that and that. So you can even take your TPs to these lows if you want to, and just kind of ride it all the way through. So we're going to adjust this TP, and we're just going to play this one through and see what happens. So let me stop it. So as you guys see, immediately we almost had hit TP. Now the reason why I brought my TP all the way up is because I noticed that even though that we are looking to scalp, and a lot of reasons why people get stopped out so soon is because they have a tight stop loss and think that price is going to react off that. But you guys got to understand, what happens is you would do a swing trade analysis and hope to get in as a scalper, knowing that this was a swing trade analysis. And what I mean by that is you guys got to understand, in a lot of my videos I explain how I trade, which is like Elliott wave, heavily Elliott wave. I'm not a full Elliott wave trader, meaning that I don't trade a lot of the things that Elliott wave teaches, but I use the ABCs, I use correctional patterns, and I use the 5 waves, which is the impulsive motive waves that they call it. I use all of that, and I put it in my own little way to trade. So what I always say is market does this all day, ABC, right? Now on a bigger scale, this is what it looks like. But on a smaller scale, you have 5 waves inside of here, 3 waves inside of here, 5 waves inside of here. But what happens is, let's say that you get in for a sell right here, right? On a 5-minute, but we're in the 4-hour right now. You get in for a sell right here. You want to put your stop loss right there, but then you want to ride it all the way down here. See, what happens is eventually you're going to get a bigger pull to the upside, and that's basically what I'm saying. So you got to be cautious of that. You at least got to know when. So I use Elliott wave to help me determine how soon, or if I'm getting in too early, if I'm getting in too late, it will let me know that. So as you see, we pretty much hit majority of the TPs, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. or really just the 3 because we didn't hit number 4 or number 5 yet. But let's keep playing it through and see if we can still get this one to smash the last TPs. Hold up, so I want to talk to you about a new broker that I am working with called Forex. Forex is actually a brand new broker that you guys can start trading with low spreads, even for crypto. So I know a lot of you guys, even if you're interested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so forth, you can actually use this broker to trade on your MT4 or on your MT5. The nice thing about it is actually they have low spreads for crypto, low spreads for Forex, low spreads for indices, and low spreads for even shares if you guys are interested in getting into stocks. Now Thor has a very easy back end where you guys can come in, make deposits, create your account, and you can pretty much get started with either MT4 or MT5. I personally like to trade with MetaTrader 5 because I like how MetaTrader 5 actually works and on my phone. So, you know, therefore I'm able to use MetaTrader 5, which is a huge thing for me. And also their withdrawal process is literally within a few hours to literally a day, depending on the amount that you guys are trying to withdraw. Now, if you guys are interested, you can go down below, use my link, and you can go ahead and get the whole process started. And once you sign up, you guys can literally start with a $10 minimum deposit, and you can either deposit Bitcoin, you can do either Ethereum. It's really up to you. And once you deposit, you can start trading right away. Like I say, guys, you can trade crypto, you can trade indices, you can even trade Forex with low spreads, and they have everything you need in their actual platform. So make sure you guys use that link down below, sign up down below, and get the whole process started right away. It doesn't even take that long, and you guys will be ready to start trading and using these strategies that I'm teaching you on my YouTube channel. So once again, check that out, and let's go ahead and get back to the gems. All right, so now as you guys see, we did smash all the TPs. Now, since we smashed all of the TPs as a scalper, guess what we can do now? So what I am going to do is hop back on the 4 hour, because you got to remind yourself, we got to look back at the bigger picture to see if there's anything that shifted or changed. We broke this trend line for one. So since we broke this trend line, two things are going to happen. Either price is going to start consolidating like this and head up, or price is going to consolidate and head down. Okay, so now since we broke this trend to the downside, this means that we can expect price to go further down. Now, remind you what I had said earlier, that market could still come down and then go further back because it's doing a bigger ABC move. I say this all the time. So in order for us to figure this out, it's very simple. We're in a 4 hour week trying to figure out what's going on with the market. So all we're going to do is just simply wait to see if we can get some simple reaction. Now, being on the 4 hour time frame, you guys got to remind yourself that the 4 hours only for you to figure out the overall picture, and that's really it. So if you can't determine the overall picture yet, just leave the market alone. And I'm gonna explain one thing. Right now we have an impulsive wave. This is all impulsive. So eventually we are going to get a pullback, which is known as a exhaustion, a retracement, continuation, or not continuation, but correction, or it can be also be known as just a simple consolidation. So we're just waiting to see what reaction we get. Even though it did break to the downside, unfortunately we already took our sell, we already sold the market here, so we already got our W. We're just going to simply wait for market to pull back because we want to make sure that we're in it for the right. So as you guys see, we're getting a pullback, and then once we start to see the sellers are in the market, that is when we're going to start entering. So we got sellers in the market now. So guess what? You guys know my ABC pattern is this. So then we're not using my Fibonacci at all. But then what I'm gonna then do is scale down on a smaller time frame. So we're gonna go straight to the 15-minute, and then we're just gonna start looking for our entries. How do we look for entries on the 15-minute? Very simple. You will wait on market to retrace after it had done an impulsive wave. So right now we are in an impulsive wave. So I just need to wait on market to pull back. Now, if you guys want to do minor structure moves, looking for minor structure support and resistance, you absolutely can. You just look to see where you see market is consolidating or a new high or a new low, and hopefully it can react off that immediately. Market just, it keeps going down, it keeps going down, it keeps going down. So we're missing out on all of this, and that's fine. That's fine with me. I'm looking for the perfect entry, right? And that's basically what we're doing. So now as prices are continuing down, we can get in these little moves here. And then now, guys, let's go back on the 4 hour. And then now on the 4 hour, if we draw back our ABC, we now see the bigger picture. And then we're just going to ride these to levels. So let's say we did take our sell here. Stop loss is roughly around here, because we're going to ride this extremely far down. And why I have a bigger stop loss is because I do expect price to pull back further. So we're gonna have a stop loss here, looking at a 1 to 4. If you guys want to do a tight stop loss, absolutely, it's up to you. Really don't matter. So we're just waiting on price to hit our TPs. So it looks like we smashed the first TP, and now we're going for the second TP, or really the final TP, and then boom, we smashed it. All right, guys, so this is how you can literally look at market, and if you want to hold these positions for a longer time, you absolutely can. But the nice thing about being a scalper is, if you know how to do your daily analysis and truly mark up the charts and understand the charts, you can definitely hold positions longer. And that's pretty much what it is with NASDAQ 100. The reason why I like it is because, once again, it moves very fast, but you have to be ready for it. Once it breaks that previous support, previous resistance, just wait on a simple pullback. The pullback does not have to be extremely far. It can be a little pullback. That's why it's so volatile. So just be ready for that, and you can sell it, buy it, and then you guys will be all set. So other than that, guys, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure you guys do me one huge favor. Follow me on Instagram. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and so show your boy some support. And then, of course, guys, subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Your boy Solo. Peace.